Эм, что? М. Very interesting. Как же это красиво, боже. Это чертовски, блядь, красиво. Почему игра перекрывает мой донат? Донаты. Топ-донаты. Я понял почему. Вот. Как же, черт возьми, это прекрасно выглядит. Вот. Вроде бы все. Продолжить. О да, Гарье Дюбуа. Where I am. Балаганчик Куна. Ща. Чё Куна совсем? Да. Давай снова поговорим. Нет, я не хочу говорить о наркотиках с маленьким мальчиком. Это глупо. Так, ты, тетка, я тебя найду. Я еще найду. Потайной вход. Пошли. Ким. Внутрь. Кто это? Что за хрен?
Hi, gendarme. Another rendezvous.
О, это ты. Курильщик на балконе. Но он же, блядь, нравится мне. Просто скажу. Привет.
Hi. So what brings you here?
Почему же тебе все раздражается? Самообладание. Вообще-таки у меня так сильно прокачана эта вонючая, блядь, моторика, то что я должен с 70% шансом это сделать. Что ты здесь делаешь?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer? Really? Well, I look forward to that. Oh, yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions. Nothing. That I didn't see anything. Why shouldn't he? What friend? No, I don't think it came up. Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types. Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece. Yes, you know those tiny speaker microphones that fancy security guards sometimes wear. Just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Let me think. He had an accent. He sounded like one of those mercenaries. He sounded vaguely Oranese. No, not vaguely, scratch that. He sounded definitely Oranese. Sure. Anything else on your mind? You did? And how did you like him? Ah, shoot. Why not? A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. He can always return. To his opportunities in Occident, Sur la Clé. Still, his coming and going brings some life to the village. Or is it just money? I don't know. Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. Friends who like to get together from time to time. That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. It is. On Sundays. He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. Hmm? What about me, gendarme? Oh, a committee. How, and if I may ask, gendarme, what is this committee about? God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to convince me I need a little more responsibility. As though I don't have enough going on already. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where he is. We don't talk about everything, you see. He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course. Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, you see. I guess you will. Bye-bye, gendarme. Hi again, gendarme.
It's for sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Hello, officer. Again? I can't believe this shit.
Yes? What is it?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and he looks up at you. Shrugging is an international. You see a heavy steel door. The door doesn't. The door. 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 The door does not. The door does not. The door does. The door. The door doesn't. The door doesn't. The door does. Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height.
Молчу. Реально молчу. А ты думал, нет? Ты думал, это неправда?
The door is closed.
Я просто прохожу диско Элизиум. А читать текст у меня сил нет, потому что горло болит.
The windows stand. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Красавчик.
It-
Ну что так ужасно появляется? Господи, гори любовь, встань нормально. Сейчас выполним твое желание. Правая рука.
There it is, a brave little army in your pocket. The 1st Smokes platoon. 20 brave souls standing in salute, ready to step into fire for you, sir. You picked the best one. This soldier is fat and succulent. What are you waiting for? Light up. Re-become yourself. Get a load of this rock and roll cop here, people. Johnny Thundercop fishes a cheap lighter out of his pants. With a flick of the thumb, there's fire. A primal satisfaction. The lighter's dark green disposable plastic. Safety's off. In your case, the safety is always off. Repercussions. There's a high risk of glory with a mild chance, cool genius. Smoking makes you into an intellectual. It will help you concentrate a bit. That much is true. It only lets you concentrate because you're in nicotine withdrawal. It only mitigates its own. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Thick, warm smoke gets sucked down into your lungs. Immediately, you feel a warm nostalgia fill your head, body, and soul. A nostalgia for yourself, the man you were in your youth. Johnny Thundercop is back, and he's chill as balls.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a cigarettes button. Cigarettes gives +1 to intellect skills. Logic, rhetoric, conceptualization, visual calculus, encyclopedia, and drama. This is...
Я чуть не сдох. У меня одна полоска осталась. Тварь. Тварь ебаная, открывай дверь.
The door is closed. Still, the lieutenant gives you a quick glance. You hear the murmur of blood in your ears. Your back slowly relaxes when you breathe out. That's one lucky...
Вечером микрофончик. Вечером.
Эй,
Как тебе нравится? Так, поговорим с этой тварью.
I've got nothing to say.
Да иди нахуй. Чё мне тут?
It's you again. What is it?
Авторитет. Показать, кто здесь главный. 17%. Клево. Ты нашел пулю в голове повешенного.
A bullet, you
Пулю
see.
вешенного.
That's mighty cute.
Любопытно.
Indeed.
Любопытно.
Mighty.
Это мягко сказано.
How did you
Как она
get
туда
there?
попала? На свою глазки-то.
Well,
Он
there
смотрит
are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
много голов.
I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Блять, ну куда вы вмешиваете? Блять, сука, вы идите жрите говно свое, блять. Тоже мне философы, блять.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
Заткнись, блять, тебя вообще никто не слушает. Ну, поищем, это способ купить то, что вы застыли.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Хорошая шутка.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying.
Что-то не врать.
It's a technique.
Какая техника?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Фись.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
Заткнись. Блядь, тебя вообще никто не спрашивал.
Never been worried in my life, Lawman.
It's not like he blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there somewhere.
Щелочка появилась. Ага, ага. Странная реакция на пулю. Ну, нет, ты уже видел? Свидетеля.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would
Я-то не
never
нашел,
come to
никто
you
из
with
местных не
this.
стал бы тебе это.
That's just cop tactics, Titus.
Точная тактика.
Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and he's in witness protection.
Your fake witness? Yeah. Let's do that before this gets embarrassing.
В смысле? А я
A
хорошо.
witness?
That's just cop tactics.
Well, let's hear it then.
Ладно, посмотрим, что же.
Who is your
He's not alarmed
Да,
by
да.
the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised.
Удивляет.
This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
MI is short for Moral Intern. Moral Intern is short for Moralist International, the coalition that runs Revachol.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make? Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky, it's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and
Я
I'm
вот
doing
в школе
great.
не ходил, и у меня все заебись.
You're doing a hell of a job, man.
Красавчик, шикарно работаешь.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
Потому что ты делаешь. Дальше. Ха-ха-ха, нашел свидетеля. Сосать. Так, авторитет. Мне надо как-то авторитет поднять. Все, я их разложил нахуй по коробочкам. Пидорасы. Ха-ха-ха, изи. Так, это разработчик. Кажется. Куда бы мне сейчас пойти? Ну, сюда. Так, здорово, пацан. Пацан.
Make way for the master poet.
Счастливо уйти. Интеллект. И что это? Я не знаю. Так, ты, жирная чума.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me.
Снова пришел тебя нахер, кстати. Что тут происходит? Пипец.
A lorry stuck the windows, fumes of heavy.
Опа.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
A Stash Raiko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. An old case for my precinct. A couple of Jim's migrants saw a Stajraiko stopped in the street, painted just like this, muddy brown. Murdered the driver on the spot. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Jim's community protested the trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever. 5,000 came to protest.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. People we are paid to protect. Let's leave it at that. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The perps were remorseful. Their sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system.
The prisons in the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost.
Could it be another Stajrajko murder? Honestly, that just doesn't seem like the type of vehicle our dead guy would drive. So my initial guess is the two are not related. Yes, detective? You sure you're not James?
Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if you are, it's only in that Revacholian way. 4 to 5%.
Вот этой машине говорили. Бабушка. Да, застрял.
The woman is still hunched over the railing. Her head. The woman.
А чё мне Ким сделать? А? А? Ладно, и ничего не скажу.
This found A to Z. The smell of there's something odd about the passenger seat. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mass of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. To Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol. The great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own. The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain, and a traffic island in central Jamrock, by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the besmerti behind it. The besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta, it's a dark parody. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is a brave man for saying Madre's name without the winces and whispers that usually accompany it.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. You close the
О, что это? Три. Теперь понятно. Ладно.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall.
Заткнись. Блядь, пройти не дает. Я же нажимал эту штуку, и что это мне дает? Давай-ка всем там пизды.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again.
Блин. И что, я не могу теперь? Я серьезно не могу теперь это сделать? В смысле, я нажал эту кнопку. Что мне эта кнопка дала? Двери не открылись. Типа...
The file cabinets, the drawers, slots.
Хорошо. О! Ладно, запомню.
This is the rusting control, no screech of crane. You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Риторика. Ебать. Зачем мне здесь риторика?
You're back before the cargo container. It's
Риторика. Офигеть. Что мне дает риторику?
before the cargo container. It's despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you. The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click. Some mechanism unlocks itself.
Супер богатый, светлый, искривляющий тип. Светоискривляющий тип. В глубины контейнера раздается голос: «Эгей, входите!»
You can't be serious.
Да вы шутите. Че теперь, Ким? Ёб твою мать. What the fuck? Oh my god. No way. Что это такое?
Stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Ух ты.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. So sorry. I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
Русский акцент.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Theodor.
Рустам Диодор.
Licensed
Ага,
holder
Свити.
and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solve.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy. I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
Отечество. На благо Отечества.
Sure, and they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht? Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it'll all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him. It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? chin. Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth. Among that group of individuals, it's been observed that when the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net. The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things, but calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. That's good.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and by the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Solar-Claire, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
History buff. I myself am currently reading up on Franco-Nigerian era trains. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. Get me wrong, they're nice things, but once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals such as yourself. For example, no problems at all.
What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
денег попросить у него.
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest. Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
Ой, концептуализация. Стиль одежды деловой человек. Что? Как это стиль одежды деловой человек? Это красная проверка. Всего лишь один раз. Концептуализация. О да, блядь, меня даже здесь не видно, из-за этого вон я искривленный. Так, я совсем забыл про эти штуки. Вообще где они? А вот здесь. Так. Забыть. Ну, это у меня все поставлено. Блин, усвоить. Не могу я это все усваивать. Концептуализация. Да? Энциклопедии. Да, здесь восприятие вообще не нужно. Концептуализация. У меня штанов на концептуализацию нет, да? Ясно. Ладно, вот такой сет получается. А, серьезно? Одежда. А что я снял? Может, мне без очков? Что ты хочешь? Вот так серьезно? Деловой человек. Конечно. Это 28%. А если я это надену? 28%, если я одену рубашку. 28%. Я хочу от этого плюс. Пожалуйста. Пожалуйста.
If business planning were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't be a cop.
Go on. Yes. Hold on. Have we met before? Yeah, on second thought, it couldn't have been you. Your idea reminds me of a group of young men who came to me a long time ago, calling themselves Fortress Accident. The name should have been. They pitched me and a handful of other investors on an idea for a role-playing game that would, in their word, well, at first everything was rosy. The ideas were solid, but they were lacking in... They lacked the will to get things done. As their financial situations became more difficult, their ideas devolved from realistic to absolute insanity.
Где, когда? Господи, где она? Может, с местами поменять? По-моему, да, хочу место поменять. Ну, так-то лучше.
All of our money. High archetypes never deliver. They're only good for battling Welkins or whatever creeps they come up with.
I guess the inordinate amount of time they put into drawing mythical creatures did not generate a return on investment.
Nobody knows for sure, but the place can't be pretty. Sadly, when we got there, it was too late. The concept had run out of steam. Only dust remained. What I want to tell you is this. It's a very bad idea. Dead in the water. You seem like a reasonable man, but that is not a reasonable plan. Absolutely not. It was a real farewell.
Абсолютно нет. Что за мысль новая? А. Сколько у меня мыслей, черт возьми. И дальше он мне пройти не даст. Ладно. говно. Это моя броня. Шляпа. И перчатки. Вот. Такое дело. Здесь не пройти, да? Я понял. Здесь тоже. А я могу его сейчас украсть? Давайте я выходу. Черт. Было смешно. Эта штука должна двигаться. Точно это. Так, свой пистолет я сам найду. Ну-ка, это будет.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened the bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
А зачем?
No trouble at all, mate.
Зачем мне ему так говорить? Пускай говорит так, как есть. Работаешь, да, жирный? Так. Это же не удочка, правда? Это удочка. И это правда. А камера может починиться? Нет? Спасибо.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
Я вам сегодня помню. Нет, я не буду тебе про типа говорить. Дверь, которую вы... Блять. Блять, я сейчас сохранюсь. Во, автосохранение, но я сохранюсь сам.
Mr. Dubois, mega rich light bending guy. Oh my god, how did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect. You're right, Harry. I am a socialist. I'm going to catch the mega-rich guy inside the container and harvest his energy to power the harbor's fog lights. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
А чё, а мне нравится то, что он не поверил, блядь, типа... Чё, мне по кайфу. Чё бы нет. У меня камера теперь из-за этой удочки дурацкой сломалась. Типа, ладно, пускай не верит, мне-то чё. Всё, я камеру починил. Пускай не верит. Ладно, здесь ничего больше нет. Что глянуть? Мне больше не интересно, ребят.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is precinct 57. 57.
In the cabin, you see...
Ладно. Так, что ты мне скажешь, Бабка? Ничего ты мне скажешь, Бабка.
Hi,
Ты-
ex-detective. Are you here for more books?
Внушение. Блин, серьезно, надо будет внушение качать. Ах. Грубая сила-то я. Блин. Теперь, наверное, я смогу ее поднять, эту штангу вонючую. Че у меня сейчас стоит? Порог сила воли, а мне нужна грубая сила. Болевой порог. Трепет. Сумрак, болевой порог. Логика, восприятие. Грубая сила, трепет. Стойкость. Это не надо. Трепет.
The
Ну чё,
barbell waits
потягаем? О,
patiently
нет.
on the floor, like a dog for its
Голова
master.
болит. Черт. А если я бухну? Физиология. Здоровье. Физиология. Боевой дух. Рано мне еще. Штанги тягать. У меня есть очки, которые просто что-нибудь дают? Нет, у меня есть очки, которые минус дают. Здесь темно, да? Это об самом, что это?
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Да. Если я алкоголь и сигареты в руки возьму.
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found him. Oh, no, you don't. Not this one. That light wow. I don't know about this.
Ладно, я... Ох, мне кажется, кто-то нашел бутылку сока. Вот так-то и происходит. Это не похоже на тебя. Ты на зеленом стекле красного блоки световые. Вы как быстрее. Не знаю.
Fine. We're not worried. You'll crawl back to this bottle soon enough. We'll give you another chance. Booze always gives you, not all of us.
You've passed up your chance.
Хорошо.
It's dark, and the flashlight works. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use them.
Бред
I'm
какой-то.
sorry, the fundamental laws of the universe don't seem to agree with you, detective. But the fact remains that it's too dark to see in here without a flashlight. So come on, we've got work.
Some areas are...
Ладно, это не сработало. Пам. Погнали. Вперед.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting the framework, it's empty like a beehive without its... The filament you have would fit perfectly inside. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule. After ending the call, please press print.
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Oh, я же...
Good. Please repeat the password. Good.
Really?
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of film. It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor. Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million Riyal game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, that is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Suliswav Jalisa, decided that what Whirl Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Ядрить. 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 Это столько комбинаций там. 10 тысяч на 10 тысяч. Это вот такая сумма комбинаций. Ебать! Продолжай. Ебать! Охренеть!
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight
Насажен на
against his
груди.
What if you broke the radio?
А что если ты сломал
What if it's
радиокомпьютер?
never
Что
gonna
если он
stop?
никогда теперь не прекратит позволить цифрам захлестнуть тебя? На этом все.
And that's it.
Так, это их и погубило. Ебать. Охренеть.
Well, yeah.
О
That
да,
and
это
the
и
catastrophic
критическая
data loss.
потеря данных. Что?
On the nature of the data loss, there's
В
ominously
журнале
little
подозрительно
information
мало
in the
информации о
production log.
характере
It
потери
comes at the
данных.
very
При
end,
этом
where things
упоминается
get
только
fuzzy and dark, where tables and
для него
numbers
становится
seem to vanish
темными
into
и
an eerie nothingness before the Egalian
становятся
investors
загадочными
pull
ничто
the
перед
plug.
тем, как иголский инвестор Белик.
What is clear is that one day an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day.
Подожди, мало информации о характере потери данных об этом. Только в самом конце, когда дело становится всем запутанным, похоже, таблица. Что? Пойдем.
When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Always read the terms of service. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement, in the ice bear refrigerator, near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Не было дома, так что я начал хранить внешнюю память в подвале, в холодильнике в виде медведя, пока сама спала рядом. Это было совершенно безопасно, оптимальная температура.
Her former colleagues would agree with you. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. Four months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye.
Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said.
Энбрюн 1147, это ведь было написано в указателе церкви.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. Tiles on the cube are... The filament slides out of its glowing
Капец,
nest.
Ким, блядь, скример. Побежал. Так, я вынул.
Tiles on the cube are...
Да, я вынул. Я понял. Холодос.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Церкви.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A few bricks have fallen. This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance you hear water.
It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
No, this is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time.
If you want to try again,
then you need to have the pry bar in your hand.
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your...
Блин, он же сказал. Координация сказала, не поможет.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has
Достаточно
a
надежная
hand-cranked ice cream
монтировка.
churner on top and an electric
Ну
freezer
да.
that appears to be frozen shut.
Что мне еще давало грубую силу?
This orange machine is buzzing.
3%. Недостаточно клевая монтировка, я понял. Даже пробовать не буду. Одежда.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has...
Я отключил эту штуку.
This orange machine is dead still. You slip your... No, if you want...
Equip the pry bar by going to the...
Что? Что? А где?
This orange machine is dead still.
Машина отключена, но мне это никак не помогает. Мне это никак не помогло. Автосохранение.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons.
Что мне с тобой делать?
The tracks are as they have ever been. A bit more worn, perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweeper still has...
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
То есть вот так он отреагировал на то, что я утопил машину. Классно. На то, что я пистолет почел. Ничего. Такие лязги тут. Просто лень стала и начал калякать. Дорога тоже в этих лязгах. А тут все в этих лязгах. Это стиль такой. Куда я вообще иду? Мне вообще нужно пойти... в церковь. Я хочу туда. Кем? Ким Кацураги. Мне нужно туда пойти. Ким? Ну, у побережья есть этот чертик. Надо ему идти. могу. Нет, спасибо. У берега насильно.
The locusts aren't doing all too well.
Саранча есть.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Из-за присутствия Кима ситуация довольно неловкая. Неловкая, да. Так, надо будет без Кима прийти. Блин, я не пошел туда. Черт. Я забыл. Черт. Бабушка. До свидания, бабушка. Алкаши. И проход в новый мир, который я попасть не могу. Где мне этого искать?
Hello again.
Блин. Где этот чувак? С которой искал ведущий границ Fortress Accident. А я кое-что узнал.
Yes, what is it?
А если я выгоню вас отсюда, я же пол...
I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
Ты чё, тварь? Бам!
When her research is done, she can move out.
Да легко! Как только она закончит свои исследования, ты сможешь съехать. Вашего исследования вы упомянули?
What?
Что?
No, I don't really need any help with the project.
Нет, мне не требуется.
She thinks about it.
думаю,
A glossy
серьезно.
look in her eyes. A
Пары
gust of
ветра
wind
задувает
brings more
снег
snow in
возникает.
from the broken gallery.
All right.
Ладно.
Bring me the game's offsite copy from my
Yes,
old
listen.
workspace, if you really want to help.
Копию игры
It's
своего.
stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
Да, я...
Good. Then you might know that in the
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying,
Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory? Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out. Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Whose body is it? You put it there? You put a dead body inside the ice bear fridge. Okay, very cool. Thanks for...
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to yourself, miss.
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't care. No. That's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still.
Чё?
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse, whatever that means. Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. It doesn't emit, it receives. You sound just like her. She started praying when she first saw my reign. Turned to higher powers.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Узловой блок памяти.
Thanks. And
О.
here's my Qualzone multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything.
Qualzone. Это
If you get me the
универсальный
offside copy,
инструмент.
then you can keep the Qualzone.
Qualzone. Можно, возможно, он пригодится вам, чтобы вбить лед. Открою все что угодно. Если принесете мне внешнюю копию, можете оставить Qualzone себе.
Yes?
Да.
Thanks.
Ха-ха-ха! Что? Что это? Что это такое? Это продвинутая монтировка. Монтировка на +2. Так сказать, изготовитель Qualzone Васа. Вас! О! Количество приспособлений спрятанных в оранжевом корпусе этого универсального инструмента поразит любого технаря. Фига себе. Серьезно, это та самая монтировка, то, что надо. Ха-ха-ха! Что это такое? Господи. Охренеть. Эй, краб. Где ты, краб? Покажись, краб. Ладно, краб не хочет показываться. Эх, жалко. Что мне скажет телефончик?
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip of your tongue as you look at life is garbage.
Так, но этого дебила я почему-то не нашел здесь. На побережье. На побережье. Офигеть. Где на побережье? Здесь не видно.
The locusts aren't doing all.
Девушка управляет движением сюда в залив. Я понял. Дверь вонючая. Что с тобой?
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military, a service depot of some sort. Probably something that is no longer there.
Ну блин, я теперь это открыть не могу. Чёрт. Ну быстрее. А. Сюда. Абсолютно ничего не знаю. Убрали.
Listen to it.
Тут реально убрали. Или его стырили. Стоп. Я что-то не догоняю. Ну просто. Сказали об этом трупе. И его теперь здесь нет. Все. Какая-то дурацкая шутка. Он просто ничего не сказал. Он до сих пор здесь стоит сам.
Hello again.
Не даст мне никто денег. Забудь.
You see, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now,
looks like tomorrow never came.
Хам-хам-хам. Так.
the trap stands empty near the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' apprehensive hissing. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it. All the trap.
Ладно. Ладно. Что это? Оно так выглядит.
All the traps are...
Ты не можешь так пойти, реально? Ты дурак? Ты чё, там же есть что-то, дурак. Я понял, он дурак. Короче, здесь обратно это дерьмо будет.
A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10 meters from them. A single...
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the...
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Ура, мне дали штуку. Я могу прокачать внушение. Пам. Найс. Пум-пурум-пум-пум-пум-пум. Ой, вот и он, говно.
As you
Здорово.
approach, the man turns and greets you
Вижу,
with a bow.
улыбается. Снова вы офицер, чудесно. Не ожидал снова вас встретить, но жизнь иногда затейливо складывается. Не так ли?
What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
Что привело вас? А на этот живописный мартинезный берег. Вообще, я хотел спросить, чем вы занимаетесь?
Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Really? Here? How can you be sure? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it.
You feel like there's something you could say here, if only you really knew what was going on.
Нет, я теперь не могу это сказать. Или могу?
I'm all ears, officer. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I just... Really?
Ну, у меня... Вот, теперь могу.
How can you be sure?
Дарья, я умею реконструировать события прошлого.
Ah, a very useful gift for a police detective, I'm sure. Fascinating how much history is contained right here.
You feel like there's something you could say here,
что-то
if
сказать,
only
если
you
не
really
понимал,
knew
что вообще
what was
происходит.
going on.
А,
I'm all ears, officer.
ладно, это ничего не поменял. Мне нужна ваша помощь. Я хочу основать комиссию и...
My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because the Comité de responsabilité de Revachol, it acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then?
Of course, we are speaking informally, but officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in. Well, under ordinary circumstances, but if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer. You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol. And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments.
У него там подмышки. Ну, они ужасные.
I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristol-Mune Convention.
The Bristol-Mune Conventions are a series of international agreements governing the treatment of military personnel and civilians in theaters of war, as well as occupied territories. In practice, they are more talked about than observed.
This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unauthorized circuit bending is a very serious matter with grave security implications. But as of the moment, there is no specific law forbidding it, in Revachol at least.
Sounds like something that programmer we met in the church might be able to help with.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Always my pleasure.
Я больше ничего.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM.
Что? Я больше не могу с ним поговорить? Найс. Я просто узнал то, что и так мог сам, типа. Гадость. Ладно. Так уж и быть. Сначала я пойду за этой штукой. А вообще знаете что? Я бы сейчас как сказал вам, пошли вы все к черту, да? Вот так бы сохранил игру на этом месте. И сказал бы всем спасибо. Всем, кто пересматривает эту запись. Наверное, да? А может нет. Мне вообще насрать. Могу вообще этого не хотеть врубить стрим. Так что ладно, буду заканчивать. Спасибо или не спасибо или не за что. или пошли вы все к черту. Ну, короче, я заканчиваю. Пока. Пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока-пока.